So Jasper, why don't we just kind of walk through it and I'll listen to your heart and lungs.
The whooping cough epidemic was declared after doctors reported a surge in cases of the deadly disease.
And right now, just in the first 5.5 months, as I said, we probably have about half this number of cases, 1,500, and 5 infants have already died, all under 3 months of age.
Babies are most vulnerable because they haven't been immunized and have no natural immunity to fight the disease. An infected baby will get apnea and stop breathing. The state is on track to pass on 9 deaths that were reported 5 years ago during the last epidemic. A typical whooping cough case starts with a cough and runny nose for 1 to 2 weeks, followed by weeks of rapid coughing.
They'll cough so hard they'll throw up. They'll cough so hard sometimes that they just turn red and blue in the face. Older kids will have the characteristic whoop where the disease gets its name, where they cough so hard and then they take a big breath in, which is the whoop of the whooping cough.
Adults get it as well, often referred to as the 100-day cough.
I had one mother in my clinic a year ago who was coughing so hard she broke a rib. So it's that kind of a cough.
Here on the Central Coast, 41 cases of whooping cough have been reported in the Tri-County area, though not all have been confirmed and no deaths have been reported. But a warning to parents, be vigilant.
It's to be aware, to be alert, and to realize that by doing so, you're protecting the most vulnerable in our society, these little infants for whom pertussis is a deadly disease, and they have no ability to have immunity through vaccines.
And if there's one thing that parents could take away from this epidemic, it's that they should immunize their children, especially infants. Dan?
All right, good advice. Thank you, Felix. California actually set a record for whooping cough in 1958. In that year, more than 3,800 cases were reported. Health officials fear we could be on track to pass that number this year. We have much more information on whooping cough on our website. You'll find links to answer all your questions about symptoms and treatments, what to look for. Just go to the As Seen On section at ksbw.com.
I want to get to some health news. It's causing a lot of concern today. 5 babies under 3 months of age are now dead in the state of California, all of them victims of whooping cough. The state is now on track to record the highest number of infections and deaths from whooping cough in 50 years. You can see how bad this disease is. This poor kid on this videotape we're looking at here. It is a disease, though, that is totally preventable with a vaccine. So why is this happening? Dr. Manny Alvarez is the senior managing health editor of FoxNews.com, also a member of our A-team, of course. What's the answer to that? What's going on?
The answer is that we have to do a better job vaccinating kids. Look, whooping cough, pertussis is a routine vaccination that is given in multiple doses. A lot of people make a mistake. They take their child for the first vaccine. They don't realize that they need a second and third to get full immunity. So what happens is they don't have the immunity. This is a very contagious disease. It's almost like a cold, if you will, but it's a little bit more severe than that because small kids, what happens, you have inflammation of the oral airways. They have difficulty breathing, and in this case, they die. When you talked about the typical, whooping cough epidemic would be like 100 and 140 cases in a community like California. Now we're seeing 900. So this is a wake-up call to tell parents that they have to take their kids to get vaccinated. It's for free, even if you don't have insurance. There's a lot of community centers in different communities in California will give you free vaccination for your children.
And is part of the problem that the initial symptoms seem like they would be those of a typical cold?
Right, and especially, it looks like a cold, but when you have a small child, any child below the age of 3 months, they have a lot of difficulty getting rid of all that mucus, and they can't drink water, so it becomes really a mess, and it goes very fast. They can be perfectly fine today, and within 48 hours really start eliciting symptoms of shortness of breath, and of course, by the time they get severe inflammation, it's very bad.
So get vaccinated and pay attention.
Pay attention, and pay attention also to the workers that take care of these kids. Because you can get vaccines yourself if you're an adult. If you work in a center like that, maybe you should have a vaccination.
In a daycare center.
Absolutely, daycare center, right.
Dr. Manny, good to see you. Thanks very much. He's our medical editor, of course, for FoxNews.com. So much great information on health and wellness right at your fingertips. You can log on directly to that website, foxnewshealth.com.